Dave Semenko, a name that sent chills down the spines of tough guys across the NHL. But before he was Sammy, the league's most feared enforcer, he was a kid from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Born July 12th, 1957, hockey was in his blood. He grew up tough, playing on the outdoor rinks, learning to skate on frozen ponds. This was where he developed his grit. He wasn't afraid of anyone. Semenko's junior hockey journey took him to the Brandon Wheat Kings. He was a force to be reckoned with. He wasn't afraid to drop the gloves, but he could also score. He wasn't just a one-dimensional player. He proved that during the 1976-77 season, when he put up an incredible 39 goals and 94 points. Despite his scoring prowess, NHL scouts saw something else in Semenko. They saw a protector, a guy who would stand up for his teammates, a guy who wouldn't back down from anyone. And the World Hockey Association's Houston Aeros, with a young superstar named Wayne Gretzky, needed a guy just like that. They drafted Semenko in 1977. Little did anyone know this would be the start of a legendary partnership. The WHA merged with the NHL in 1979, and both Gretzky and Semenko found themselves playing for the Edmonton Oilers. It didn't take long for Sammy to become a fan favorite in Edmonton. He was tough as nails, and the fans loved him for it. He quickly became known as Wayne Gretzky's bodyguard. Back then, the game was different. Goons roamed the ice, looking to take a run at skilled players, but not Gretzky. Not with Semenko on the ice. Everyone knew that if you touched Gretzky, you had to answer to Semenko, and nobody wanted to do that. Semenko's presence allowed Gretzky to work his magic freely. He could create scoring chances without fear. Gretzky knew Semenko had his back, and that made all the difference. Now, some people might think that enforcers like Semenko were just goons. They were good for nothing except fighting. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Sure, Semenko could handle himself in a scrap, but he was also a smart player. He knew when to make the big hit. He knew when to agitate the other team. Semenko's toughness had a ripple effect on the entire Oilers team. It gave them confidence. They knew that if things got out of hand, Semenko was there to settle the score. It's no coincidence that the Oilers started winning Stanley Cups with Semenko in the lineup. He was a key piece of the puzzle. He was a leader in the dressing room too, always cracking jokes, keeping things light. He was a beloved teammate, and he played a huge role in creating the winning culture that the Oilers dynasty was built on. Section 4. Legendary Brawls. Tales from the Ice. Dave Semenko had some legendary fights in his career. He fought everyone, and he usually came out on top. One of his most famous bouts was against Wilf Payette of the Colorado Rockies. Payette was a big, tough guy, but Semenko handled him with ease. Another memorable fight was against Tim Hunter of the Calgary Flames. It was a back-and-forth battle. Both guys landed some big punches, but in the end, Semenko came out on top. These fights weren't for the faint of heart. They were brutal, bloody affairs, but they were also a part of the game back then. And Semenko was one of the best at it. He wasn't afraid of anyone. Section 5. Trading the Oil Drop. Semenko's time in Toronto. In 1986, the unthinkable happened. The Oilers traded Dave Semenko. He was sent to the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was a sad day for Oilers fans. They had grown to love Semenko. He was a part of their family. Semenko's time in Toronto was short-lived. He only played one season with the Leafs, but he still made an impact. He brought his toughness and leadership to a young Leafs team. Even though he was only in Toronto for a short time, Leafs fans appreciated his grit and determination. They knew they were watching a special player. Section 6. Beyond the Boards. Life after hockey. After retiring from hockey in 1988, Semenko remained involved in the game. He worked for the Oilers in various capacities, including as a color commentator and as a scout. He was inducted into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame in 2012. He was a beloved figure in Edmonton. He was always willing to sign autographs and take pictures with fans. Semenko was also known for his charitable work. He was a spokesperson for several charities, including the Alberta Lung Association. He was a true role model for young people. Section 7. A lasting legacy. Remembered as a protector and a friend. Sadly, Dave Semenko passed away in 2017 at the age of 59 after a battle with pancreatic cancer. The hockey world mourned his loss. He was a true legend of the game. Dave Semenko will always be remembered as one of the toughest players to ever lace up a pair of skates. But he was so much more than just an enforcer. He was a great teammate, a loyal friend, and a true ambassador for the game of hockey. He embodied the spirit of the game during a time when toughness and skill went hand in hand. He will be deeply missed, but his legacy will live on forever. He was a true original, and the game was better with him in it.